have my corkscrew or dragon claw willow, and you might see why it's called that by how the leaves curl and the branches get these cork, you know, a little bit of a, not really corkscrew, but they curve. Or I think the dragon claw is much more, makes more sense to the name of this. What we're going to do to this today is we're just going to trim it back. I don't think, let me double check. I don't think we really need, oh no. If you can, I mean, the most of the resistance is just rocks that I had in there. I can get my stick right in there, so we should be pretty good on roots still. So we'll just leave it for now. I don't think these grow as much. I mean, there's a little bit of stuff coming through, but I don't think they grow as aggressively as like the weeping willow. They don't. It doesn't seem so, at least. I've only had two of these. The other, I bought these as cuttings. These were just, actually bought 2 cuttings. The other one was thicker, but the other one didn't survive. They both rooted, but this one is the only one that did well after it rooted. First thing we're gonna do, this is gonna go, I don't like, this curve is nice, and then into this should be nice, and this could be the new leader, but this has got a bad, this is how this was when I got it. I had this is what I got in the mail, plus what goes under there. This is what I got in the mail for this piece. This sprouted, all these sprouted since I got it. This was the first sprout the first year, and then I've cut something off here, which we're gonna clean this up. I don't know if I cut this off or this was already cut off, but this is not done good. So there we got that. Now, we're gonna hack it off here to start, and we're gonna make, again, some, like the weeping willow, we're gonna make some cuttings out of this. I might do a quick video just to show you how I do my cuttings for weeping willows, or add it to this one, because I don't think this video is going to be long, very long. Okay, so now we got to clean this part up. I think there should be good, at least to start with. And then we can just nibble away and clean up. And I'm hesitant to take more out of there, but we're going to take some out of this side, like so. Yeah, these don't seem to grow as aggressive as the, they grow quick, but they don't grow as quick as like the weeping willow. The weeping willow is like, oh, you will be amazed. The video I put out before of the weeping willow, that weeping willow, I will try to keep you updated on that, but that will, give that a month or two and it'll have branches and leaves everywhere. Now, do we want to keep any of this lower stuff? I don't want to keep this because it's below this curve. I don't think it works. So that can become a potential cutting maybe. Clean this up. We got a little funky thing next to this. I'm still debating on whether I want to keep this. I think for now, at least this can at least be, as if nothing else, be a sacrificial branch to help thicken up this base and get some taper in this, maybe. At the very least. So let's hack. Ow! Ooh, I accidentally caught myself. Ooh, It hurt, but I didn't cut myself. Whew. I thought I was going to cut a chunk of my skin out with these. Whew. Be careful of this. Gotta be careful where your fingers are. Your work kind of stuff hurts, but put that up there. My scissors out. I think I'm just going to cut this top off and let that be the leader here. Now usually when I cut them off with scissors, I just cut it off with, because I'm going to be cutting off usually such a small piece. I don't want to get in there close and mess that up. Similar to what happened when I tried to chop that one branch off on the, if you remember on the Weeping Willow, the video before, I cut too close. I mean, it was a bigger branch, but I cut too close and messed up the branch. Well, these little ones are really much easier. The smaller they are, they're much easier to do that with. And we're gonna cut this back there, and then we're gonna actually cut these back. Because if I don't cut all this back, this will take over, and this won't get enough vigor. And we do want this to be the better thing. But these can have some really nice movement in them. I was just really, I seen one of these done up as a bonsai. I fell in love with it. I love willows. Willows are right up there with maples. I love maples, willows. Those are really my favorite trees. Now the larch, I've really fallen in love. I've had some larch now, and I've really fallen in love with the larch. And I am not always a big conifer person, so we're going to clean, like we did on the other one, we're going to clean these. I'm sorry I'm kind of in the way, but there's not much else way to do this on camera and get it done properly. You just kind of like, again, clean up those edges to help. And like I said, what we're doing here with the X-Acto knife is I am trying to clean up that live part of the trunk or the branch that's on the outer edge. Just so when it heals a little nicer. So, yep, there's that one. That is done. So, there's that. This willow was a little shorter than the other one. I'm just going to go over what I quickly do with preparing cuttings for willows. It's not really that hard of a thing to do. Very easy. So, we get started here. All right. Say we want this big one, okay? I'm gonna cut it. I'm gonna get rid of this, all the scarring here. So we're gonna cut it above the scarring. Off. I mean, ooh, that's not the greatest, but I don't know. We didn't cut all the way through it, and I pulled up. I don't think that'll make a huge difference, but yeah, you don't want to do that if possible. And then we want to chop off all these lower branches. like so. I'm going to actually cut this big branch off. I don't need this. Once it grows, this is the weeping willow too. Once it starts growing, it's gonna be a problem. I think I'll just remove this one too. And then you can generally just reduce stuff back. You don't need a ton of growth left on these. I'm not going to clean that up all the way. If it doesn't make it, why clean it up if it's not going to make it? We can always address that at a later time. And honestly, with a weeping willow, I don't need to worry about leaving actual branches on anything. Leaves on anything, because they will generally bud back. And with cutting, you don't really want or need a lot of foliage on it, because the more foliage you have on it, that's more what's in this tree has to sustain that, where you want it to put its extra energy into the roots to get the roots going. And then we'll just sit that in a vase or a cup of water with the rest of them, and hope that it put it over here out of the way. And then generally, if we're gonna do something more like this, that's more flexible and stuff, it's pretty much a similar process. You just pick where you want to cut it. Typically, if there's branches, that's where the roots will come out. There's also other spots, little bumps where there's stuff. That'll show you where, so you want to generally cut below one of those. And then this could actually be like, cut it here, cut that off, cut it here, and then take the scissors, and then, like I said again, cut the lower branches off. And really, it's a lot like early bonsai. We're not worried about the structure of this thing. We want to get something that we can put in water and put roots on. And then we got this middle section here. And when you put them in, do make sure you put them in the right way. If you put a piece in upside down, it will not grow right. And again, cutting most of the foliage off. You don't need a lot of foliage. And the bottom piece. And cut all the lower branches off. And there, out of that one stick, we have 3 potential cuttings. So, as you've seen what I cut off, both this and the weeping willow, I have plenty of potential stuff. I'm not going to keep it all. I don't need that many weeping willows. I will probably keep more of the bigger, thicker stuff as root cuttings, because they'll make a potential tree quicker. These will take a little longer. But I actually have the one that I'll do another video on, and that one needs to be repotted because it's been neglected for quite a few years. But that one was a cutting that was probably no bigger than this, and you'll see how that looks when we do that video. So, if you enjoyed my video today, like, subscribe, hit the bell, comment, hell, dislike if you dislike it. It doesn't matter to me. And I'll see you next time.